Greetings, gamers, and welcome to the 2017 Halloween episode of Awesome Ross. Now, if you were watching back in 2016, you may remember that last year for Halloween, when I did the Halloween special, I played a game called Parody World Monster Party. Now, Parody World Monster Party was an unreleased Japanese prototype that I applied a translation patch to so that I could play it in English. What I have here today is Monster Party, which is the US version, which was released here, obviously. So if you want to go back and compare them, you can check out last year's videos versus this year's video and see how the two are different. Okay, here we go. It's Monster Party! So as you probably noticed before, I'm in full Halloween regalia. I'm dressed as Link this year. Last year I did Gangster, so this year I broke out the Link costume to do this Halloween special. This year we are also running on real hardware. Now last year, as I mentioned earlier, I was playing Parody World Monster Party, which was basically a Japanese prototype that was unreleased that I applied a translation patch to. So that prototype was a rare, one-of-a-kind prototype that they made a ROM file of and put on the internet. So the thing is, it would be very difficult to play that on real hardware unless you had made like a repro cartridge or you played it on like a power pack EverDrive type device, and I don't have one of those. So we just had to do the best we could last year. I thought it turned out well. This year we are playing my Monster Party NES cartridge on a real original NES. So it's actual hardware. I try to play games on actual hardware on this channel as much as I can. There may be situations where I'm playing some rare, prototype or something, like last year, where it's just not really feasible to, but I would say like, 90-95% of the time, I play games on real hardware on this channel. But anyway, without further ado, I think it's time to do some monster partying. This is a perfect game for Halloween. If you didn't watch last year, basically the premise of the game is that you fight various bosses. You play through levels and there's several bosses in each level. Each boss is either like a pop culture parody or a horror themed boss. In some cases maybe both, but even the Halloween, even the cursor is perfect for Halloween. It's a jack-o'-lantern. It's just, I think this is a great game to play for Halloween. But yeah, let's get started. Mark was walking home from a ball game. He looked up and saw a bright star. While he stared at it, the star got bigger and bigger. The beauty of the star made his eyes moist, so he didn't notice that the star fell and landed right in front of him. Now, one quick aside here, in the Japanese version, they have different names. I believe it's Hiroshi and Veryu, but in this version, it's Mark, and you'll find out. It wasn't a star, but a monster. Mark quickly asked, "Who are you?" "I'm Bert." "What's up?" "I'm looking for help. Evil monsters are out of control in my world. Come and help me." "I'm afraid to fight the evil monsters." "Don't worry. With your weapon, you'll be able to destroy them easily." "This isn't a weapon. It's a bat." "Bat? Batter? Anything is okay. Anyhow, let's go." Bert grabbed Mark's hand and flew away. "What's your name?" "Mark." "Mark, my planet is dangerous. So, we must act together." "How?" "Like this." Then they fused together. This is how Mark's adventure began. And ours. Gotta love that, gotta love that startup screen. Hold on. Okay, we're a little out of focus there for a second. So anyway, starting off on round 1 here. I love those psychic guys. One thing of note here, the US version is a bit easier than the Japanese version because I hate those things. It's a little more generous with power-ups. The enemies drop power-ups more often, and the bosses will also drop a power-up. So we'll see if we can farm up a bit more health here. If they don't jump me to death. Yeah. Wow. I'm getting hardcore trolled here, dang. There we go. Alright, let's just roll with this. Now here's the first boss. For reference, I've pulled up so you can see this is a screenshot from the Japanese prototype, and as you can tell, seeing the Japanese version, it looked a lot more like Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors. See the difference? Hello, baby! Let's take it to this boss. Now this boss will shoot bubbles at you. It shoots them at different angles, and sometimes the speed varies. Sometimes it will shoot slow ones, and sometimes it will shoot fast ones. It's kind of best to stay in a safe spot. Just play it cool, not take too many risks. It takes a little longer, but you gotta hit the bubbles just right to reflect them with your bat, though. It's a kind of, you gotta hit it a little bit late. If you hit it too early, it'll just knock it directly forward. It's tough to get the timing down just right, because if you wait too long, you just end up missing it altogether. But when you have a strategy that works, stick with it. Yeah, this is a great, really unique and quirky game for the NES. So, if you missed the playthrough last year of the Japanese prototype, definitely go back and check it out. Because if you like this, you will enjoy it. Hopefully, it shouldn't take too much longer to kill it. Hit it a little too fast. Sometimes it shoots two, also. There we go. Sometimes those question marks will give you life, and sometimes they'll give you points. Love that worm crawl. Such a weird enemy, just feet sticking out of the ground. And here's the Bert transformation. Whenever you get a capsule, it changes you into Bert, who can fly and shoot projectiles. So he is significantly stronger. Kind of strange that he needed Mark's help, but maybe in a fusion state he's stronger than he is non-fused. Go in here real quick. Now this boss room is empty, but there is a question mark item. I believe it is also empty in the Japanese version, so when you hear that sound and you see the blinking, that means you're about to run out of transformation time. So you gotta get moving. Now we're back to Mark. Sometimes it seems like the hit detection is a little bit in favor of the enemies. Alright, let's head in. Okay, that's right. This boss is the corpse boss. He just says, "Sorry, I'm dead." And then he dies. And you get a bonus. I believe this room is pretty much the same in the Japanese version. Let's see if they're reset on dropping power-ups. These guys just may not drop any. Check this out. A little bit different, huh? Now that's one difference between the US and Japanese version, is the music changes and gets much creepier in the US version. That wasn't implemented in the Japanese prototype. The graphics still get all nightmare fuel-y, but the music, after that little sound effect for the graphics shift, it just plays the same music as before. So that's one area where they did improve the US version. Oh, got the reflect going on. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's head in here. Okay, here's a reference on this boss. Check this out. In the Japanese version, it was Planet of the Apes, and you had, see, I had the Statue of Liberty. It's kind of a chibi Statue of Liberty. But the boss was Planet of the Apes, and you had this Statue of Liberty background, and it was totally changed. Now it's a pumpkin boss, which is a lot more Halloween appropriate, but you can see how very different that is from the original boss. So let's see if we can tear him up with Bert. Whoops. Alright, I guess I'll have to retry him. Man, he took a lot of hits. Alright, let's try this again. Much better. Alright, now that we've got the key, we can leave this level. Okay, that was kind of cheap. Man, you guys are really trolling me here, aren't you? Right there at the end. Seriously? Take any risks here. Heart would be nice. Nope. Oh no. Lots of empty rooms. Sometimes if you wait around, I think there's one or two of these that an item will appear if you wait around. There's the end of the level. Ta-da! Alright, hold on. I am actually writing down these passwords, so cool. Okay. Gotta love that pool of blood with lots of skeletons and skulls and blood dripping from the ceiling. And now we're down in the sewers. Hopefully this will be a good chance to farm up some hearts. Yep. It's important to farm up health when you can, because some of those bosses are pretty tricky. Whoop. It's not another farm. Apparently he's just stopped appearing. Alright, well, we'll go ahead then. Okay. So we might be able to get a burp capsule. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. Alright, check this out. So, here's Medusa in the US version, right? Check out Medusa in the Japanese version. See how she's a lot more human-like? She looks like a human female, and she's much more snake-like in the US version. So there's another example of the difference in the Japanese version. Let's mix it up. Let's just be aggressive here and we should be able to take her out. Gotcha. Alright. Good stuff. Yes. I like being able to duck down and shoot. It's handy. Ah, forgot those damage you. Alright, I'm going to chance this and see if maybe I'll get a burp pill from the sewer gator. Oh, I got a heart. Alright. I just have to take this one as mark. Oh, that's right, this one's empty. Okay. No big whoop. Oh, there's another difference. So, in the Japanese version, those shoot aliens at you. It's based off of the eggs and the facehuggers from the Alien movies, but they just shoot bubbles in the US version. They were a lot more careful in the US version to try to not run afoul of copyright infringement. They don't worry nearly as much about that kind of stuff in Japan. I think Japan's a lot more lax on copyright infringement laws. Alright, hold on. Okay, so the difference with this one, I knew there was a difference in the US version. The difference with this one, the US version is actually better, because in the Japanese version, you only fight the tempura shrimp. But in the US version, you fight the tempura shrimp, an onion ring, and a shish kebab. It's weird because, like, on the title screen, the other two will go by on the Japanese prototype. Like, you'll see the onion ring and the shish kebab go by on the title screen. But apparently their programming is not finished because you only fight the shrimp on the Japanese version. So, anyway, here is the US version. Here I come. There's the onion ring. Okay, I'm having a little trouble with the onion ring. I always seem to trying to hit him in his stride instead of when he's jumping, but it seems like it's kind of randomized. That's the aggravating part about this. God, he's like a damaged sponge. Oh, great. I'm probably not going to have enough life to finish this up. I'm going to have to redo this battle. Oh well, I'll retry. Hopefully I can have more burp time this time. Look out, baby. Here I come. Off we go again. Gotcha! Ha! You gotta hit him just right where you can connect with multiple hits and, you know, connect at the top and then pause, connect at the bottom. Sometimes if you can time it just right, like, you'll hit him a couple of times when you're moving into him, but, like, you won't quite make contact with him so he can hit you. So, anyway. Whew. You can also reflect the bubbles, but if you don't do it just right, it can end up hurting you. So that's why I don't always try to reflect those, even though you can do it that way. Alright. Stop being sloppy here. I know that technically you don't have to, but I just like to check all the rooms. So I'm going to go back this way. I know this room is empty, but just so that we have it all perfectly clear. I'll go back to this guy because I think he may drop a pill again. There we go. Alright. Ugh! He wouldn't get down. this guy will drop a heart or a pill or something. Nope. Man. Sneaky on me, eh? Yes, that's more like it. Alright, let's see what lies ahead. Empty. That's how they get you sometimes, like when you exit the door, sometimes you can get hit like either instantly or almost instantly by nearby monsters, so to be careful. Yes. Oh, no! I'm gonna make you backtrack a lot to get to that one door. We need some heart-dropping enemies. Kind of sneaky. Alright, well, we will have to chance this and just do the best we can. Alright, hold on. Ah, this is not going to be fun. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Well, this boss is basically the same, but I was thinking they changed the dialogue. I don't have a picture of it handy, but I think the dialogue is slightly different. I think it references, this is based on a Japanese folk tale about a woman who was thrown down a well, and so like her ghost haunts the well, but it doesn't really make as much sense in the US version. Anyway, let's see how I do. Guess I get to retry this one. Alright, round 2. Way easier with Bert. So I found out a little trick. I'll go over it more in just a second. I should have remembered this from before, but anyway. So this enemy right here, there's actually 2 of them. There's one earlier in the level too. There's a couple of these eggs that they drop a question mark. Those can be farmed over and over again. So like if you walk over and come back, you can hit it again and get another question mark. The question mark gives you random, it either gives you a certain amount of points, or there's about 3 different variations of points you can get, or it will give you life, or it will give you the same as a pill effect, so you get a free Bert transformation, but it's randomized, so you just go back and forth and you may get health, you may get a Bert pill, or a lot of times it's just points. But that's a great way that you can farm up extra goodies. Also something else, when you're fighting the tempura boss, there's a way that you can get extra time. Like the egg that's right in front of the door, you have to take a hit, but if you just like fly over it with Bert, it'll smack you one time, but you can fly through it, and then you get a lot more time, and basically you have enough time with Bert that you can kill. Or, well, I got this, there's 3 tempura, you know, the onion ring is the second one. I got the onion ring down to just needing like another hit or 2 to kill it before my time ran out if you take the hit from the egg. So that's a good strategy on that one. So now I've got the key and I can move on to one of them. Voila. Level 2 complete. Alright. Alright, got that copied down. This might be a good stopping point, but we'll go ahead and take a quick look at round 3. Oh yeah, the cave. So, one cool thing to point out here that's different from the Japanese version. In the Japanese version, see in the middle there, at the very, very back of the cave, how there's the colors that pulse in and out in the farthest layer back in the cave. So in the Japanese version, that's just a static. I think it just is always blue. It doesn't glow different colors. So that was one improvement that they made to the US version, is having that glowing palette in the far background. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, we'll leave off here and we'll resume next time in part 2 of the spooky Halloween special. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next mission.